Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sheenam Bansal. Today we will do talus fractures. Talus has some unique characteristics. Firstly, it has retrograde blood supply. Secondly, 2/3 of talus surface is articular surface. Thirdly, it has no muscle attachments. So there are more chances of dislocations. Talus is by main three arteries: posterior tibial artery, anterior tibial artery and peroneal artery. Peroneal artery and anterior tibial artery, both these supplies head and neck. Posterior tibial artery gives two branches, deltoid branch and artery of tarsal canal. Artery of tarsal canal supplies major portion of the talus. But whenever there is talus neck fractures, the only blood supply which is left is deltoid branch. So this branch lies in the deltoid ligament. So we have to protect the deltoid ligament to save the blood supply, because this is the only blood supply which is left after talus neck fractures. This classification for the talus neck fractures. There is type 1, type 2 and type 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Type 1 is non-displaced fractures. In type 2, we have subtalar dislocation with talus fractures. And in type 3, with subtalar plus there is tibiotalar dislocation. And in type 4, we have subtalar plus tibiotalar plus talonavicular dislocation. So, as we proceed from type 1 to 4, the risk of avascular necrosis increases. Now, in this picture, you can see there is subtalar dislocation along with the talus fracture. So, this is the type 2 fracture, type 2 Hawkins classification. Do you know talus articulates with the 4 bones. Which bones? Firstly, it articulates with the tibia, it articulates with the calcaneum, it articulates with the navicular, it also articulates with the fibula. The imaging includes AP view, lateral view, canale view. This is done in 15-degree pronation, foot in maximum equinus and 75 degrees. At 75 degrees, X-ray beam is fallen. So we can also get the CT scan done for the proper assessment. In type 1 fractures, that is undisplaced fractures, we can apply cast and do conservative treatment. In type 2, type 3 and type 4 fractures include open reduction and internal fixation. Although if we reduce the fracture, even though we have to do the open reduction and internal fixation. We can see two types of dislocations with the talus fractures. Firstly, we can see medial dislocation. We can also see lateral dislocation. Lateral dislocation, mostly it is common. Common is medial dislocation. In the medial dislocation, Its reduction can be opposed by the lateral structures. What are the lateral structures? Extensor digitorum brevis and peroneal tendons. And lateral dislocation can be opposed by the medial structures like tibialis posterior and FHL, etc. It is less common, but lateral dislocation is associated with fractures. Like most common fractures associated with lateral dislocation is cuboid fracture. Although it can include calcaneum fractures, it can include talus fractures. Calcaneum fracture, anterior process of the calcaneum and lateral process of the talus. The main important complications are, firstly, it is subtalar arthritis. It is the most common complication. Second is the tibiotalar arthritis. In the tibiotalar arthritis, we can do ankle arthroplasty or arthrodesis, whatever. Third is there may be varus malunion. Whereas in varus malunion, we can do lateral closing wedge osteotomy or medial opening wedge osteotomy. The screw fixation, percutaneous screw fixation in the talus fractures. Firstly, we will always put the lateral screw, because lateral screw provides compression while the medial screw acts simply as a position screw. Never insert firstly medial screw. Medial screw is the positional screw and they don't need to be parallel. Firstly insert the lateral screw which will act as compression screw, and medial screw is the positional screw. So it was all about talus fractures. Thank you so much.